And we are rolling. Well, at least I am. I don't know about you, but here's the face that the casual viewer would have with my nth billionth video on this subject right here. So the thing would be like, not another fucking YouTube video about PEDs and stuff. Hate to disappoint you. I'm here with yet another installment on PEDs, and this time around we have a marvelous subject, and that is it cheating? Again, not on your wife or spouse or girl, friend or whatever, boyfriend. But is it cheating if I used to use PEDs, but that was just a long time ago, where I just used the little dosage or just for a short amount of time or stuff like that? Is it cheating if I did it in the past and now I'm not? So can I call myself a natty? Can I do this and that? Well, first of all, no, you cannot call yourself natty, although if you've watched my previous videos, obviously you can call yourself natty. You can call yourself natty even if you're still using it and abusing PEDs, because like I proved in my past videos, every compound out there is natural. So why wouldn't you be? But just in case you think that this doesn't qualify for being natural, just because you did it in the past and now you're no longer doing it, no. First of all, it does not erase history, not morally, and also not practically, or I should even say pragmatically. Here's why. From a moral standpoint, you might argue that, well, if it's so long ago and whatever, now I no longer feel morally, bad, or I no longer have, let's say, feelings of how could you call these things? Because they're so hard to pinpoint. I no longer feel guilty for competing against natural guys, because whatever I did in the past, it no longer counts. Let's just look at it from a moral perspective, shall we, if you will. I killed in the past, now I'm no longer killing. You really think that in everyone's eyes you're just as good as someone who's just a regular guy who never did anything like that? No. Let's just say you smoked in the past. Do you think you're at the same level with someone who never smoked? No. Obviously, you can be frank and you can be honest about your things, and if that's the case, it's no longer a problem, because obviously there's no way for any of us to erase the past. But in my analogy, just because you're not doing something now, it would be super wrong to say, I never smoked, I never killed, I never cheated, I never stole, I never committed crime, whatever the crime might be. I never committed theft, adultery, so on and so forth. You cannot say that, just because in the past you were obese and now you're no longer obese, oh, you're this skinny guy with amazing genetics for having a lean toned body. Be honest about your past and your fluctuations. It's actually in your advantage to present both sides of your coin, because it's an achievement on your side, just as it is with all of the other things that you did and now you're no longer doing, right? So be honest and present the reality. That is what I'm saying. Also, for example, as another example, you cannot say, well, just because in the past I used to have extreme achievements, now I'm allowed to hold on to these things just because they're a part of my past, so it's me regardless. See how these things are kind of contradicting with themselves? I mean, they're contrary to one another. When that thing in the past is something bad and you're trying to get rid of it, now you're hoping that time will heal things, and after whatever number of years or months or whatever you think is acceptable, you feel like history should be erased. Whereas on the other hand, once you are someone at some point in life, whether it's just your recollection of being a stud in your 20s, or actually being something more than just that and being like a champion or whatever, now because that's something great that you're proud of, now you like that thing, that accolade, to stay and to stick with you for the rest of your life. See how dumb and stupid these things tend to be when you kind of put them one against the other. So they're either both wrong or both right. You should choose. You shouldn't pick and choose. So that is that from, with the whole morality issues. You can't, if you cheated on someone in the past, you cheated on your spouse or whatever, you can't just present yourself as being this goody-goody sort of catch for the next one. And obviously you will probably do so, but I'm just saying it's the same. Just because you fucked everything that you could on like within a 200-mile radius, and at one point you decide to settle down, sorry, that does not empty the bucket, no matter how you're trying to put it. So hoping that the moral issue is kind of self-explanatory at this point, and I'm no longer forced to force feed you. I no longer have to force feed you with endless examples and analogies and stuff like that. Let's move on to the other aspect, which is from a practical standpoint. Having done those things, and now I'm going back to this thing right here, arm wrestling and PEDs. Having done those things, don't act like whatever you gained, you completely lost, because it's not like that. No matter how you might subjectively rate your performance, some people might even argue that this was their baseline, and when they were using, they went up, and now after they quit, they're even lower than their initial baseline. So now actually they're more natural than the natural guy. So it's actually you, the natural guy, who's at an advantage, as opposed to them who are now suffering from the undershoot of this cycle or whatever. Not true. Some things that you've gained are irreversibly yours, both good and bad. But the bad ones are kind of like the health problems. But until you start experiencing those health problems And even if you're starting to experience health problems, until the health problems themselves are beginning to take a toll on your performance, uh, the positive things that you've gained, which can be, muscle mass, size in terms of hypertrophy, size in terms of hyperplasia, in general, actually, new tissue, enlarged tissue, enlarged connective tissue, bone mass, frame size, bone density. So it's stuff like this. There are metrics like these, like density, volume, mass, which are all intertwined. I hope you know how, and I don't have to explain the whole thing with density being mass over volume and stuff like that. It's all these metrics and a lot more, biochemical processes. Your metabolism changes a lot of times irreversibly. The way in which you're synthesizing certain compounds changes dramatically. The food intake that you're able to, let's say, withstand, because in the end it comes to this, changes dramatically. And yeah, things like these, even the so-called muscle memory. It's one thing for me to go to my muscle memory, so I'm going from this twig version of myself to a slightly bigger twig, which for me is anyway an insane amount of progress. It's one thing with doing this, and it's another thing to just go to a completely different level of muscle memory. Like I said, even if you're shrinking down, the bone mass, the density is staying there, the structure, the calcification is staying there. All of the things that you're able to achieve in that period when you use those substances stays with you. Even mindset, even motivation. Imagine someone who never went too far into the sport, and I touched upon this subject in past videos. Imagine someone who never achieved way too many great things in the sport because he got discouraged, demotivated. He experienced injuries and soreness and overall health problems because he wasn't able to recover properly and stuff like this, versus someone who was able to recover, who was able to achieve things both mentally and physically. He saw himself progressing, so that completely boosted his morale, his confidence. He might have been able to pin a few good names, whether locally or whatever, or even get some titles under his belt. All of these things take a huge play. If I know that I'm an ex-champion, or I was there dabbling with the greats in the sport, I have no problem under almost any circumstance knowing that I can make a comeback, even if it's not my greatest comeback and I won't be back at the same level. I still have the drive and motivation to revive the monster within. So yeah, that can be a significant. It can make or break any such type of comeback or even idea of doing something with your life and with your sport, versus, like I said, experiencing nothing but bad returns for your investment. It's like those guys who all their life did good and got nothing in return except for bad things, and now they develop, unfortunately, because there's that's reality for them. They develop this philosophy that in life, if you're doing good, you're getting back bad, and people who are doing bad get good things in return, which we all know is a part of our reality. But here's some of the mechanisms by which those things might be happening. So do not ever downplay the gains that you had in the past that are able to fully or partially traverse time into the present and also into the future by still giving you leverage and an advantage and the edge versus people who never did this. So all in all, like I said in the very beginning, it's not about blaming people. It's not about looking down at their achievements or belittling their achievements. Sorry, my mouth is super dry. It's way too many videos in a row. It's nothing about that. I'm actually trying to just continue stirring this pot because of the obvious reasons that I want to have like a very constructive and helpful and educational discussion with everyone out there who might want to join the bandwagon, jump on the bandwagon, whatever. I know because I was watching couple of weeks ago those things from RVJ with the whole PED talk and his follow-up, and that kind of started me again with my buzzing ideas about these topics that I've had for forever now. Like he said, he did not feel like he wanted to keep on kicking on that poor dead horse, but unfortunately I kind of want to keep stepping on his tail a bit, at least for a little longer. Again, not because I just want to get the ball rolling for no reason. I actually want to engage with you guys in conversations, civilized conversations, friendly conversations. I'm actually genuinely very curious to know what your stance is with any of these topics, and overall with this topic, in general. So please feel free, leave a comment down below, or a huge comment or comments, or let me know if you ever want to do like a video together and we can upload it on my channel, your channel, whatever. If you like, feel free to if you liked it, like the video, subscribe, share, whatever. If not, troll, hate, whatever. Like I always say, if you dislike it, make sure you put in the effort to let me know just how much this means to you, and double click the dislike button, right? So click it twice to in order for the YouTube algorithm to have its full effect. So if you know what I mean. Till next time, guys, let me know what you think about this thing, and hope to see you in the very next video. And my lighting is playing tricks on me, but I hope that won't bother you because we're already at the end. So without further ado, let's close this mofo.